Turtle's Day Out by Maya Speckard. This story by Maya, who was in the third grade and won an award. One beautiful clear morning, Spark the Turtle woke up to find that he had rolled over in the night and broken almost everything. Drat! Spark roared as he looked around his tiny straw house, nearly in pieces. I hate this house. Despite his temper, he ate a couple of pieces of lettuce and made a plan. I'll go visit my friends, Waddles the duck, Flip and Flop the frogs, and Beatrice the bee, Spark said. He quickly packed a lunch of lettuce sandwiches, a couple of fly chips, and some slug salad. He grabbed his hat, and soon he was off. "Hello," Spark called out when he reached Waddle's pond. "Well, hello," Waddles cheerfully called back to him as he walked from the reeds. "Just playing hide and seek with my kids," he quacked, and little ducklings ran every which way. "So, what brings you here, my good friend? Please sit down." Spark sat and explained his problem. "I see," said Waddles. "Well, please come in. The water is just fine." A little while later, Spark made his choice. "Thank you for everything, but your house is a bit too wet for me," Waddle said as he understood completely, and Spark was off again, this time to see two very rich frogs named Flip and Flop. Now, Flip and Flop were very rich frogs, as you know. They lived in a huge house with an Olympic-sized swimming pool and the biggest rooms ever imaginable. Spark stopped for lunch and was so deep in his thoughts that he didn't notice he had eaten his last chip. Reaching for another, he picked up a plate and took a bite of it instead. "Plugh!" Spark said as he spit it out and hurled it away. Finally, he arrived at Flip and Flop's house. He explained his problem again. Said Flop. "I think you should stay a while. I'll fix some tea. Flop, do keep our company." After a while, Spark told his friends, "Thank you for everything, but your house is a bit too big." Flip and Flop understood and said that was quite all right, and Spark was off again. But as Spark walked, he discovered an issue. Beatrice the bee could fit in his house, but he couldn't fit into hers. When he sat down to think about this, his eyes fell on the horizon. It was getting dark. Oh no! He walked a little farther, and doing so, he saw the wolf's house. He said to himself, "Maybe I can drop in for a meal." In the wolf house, it turned out they were in search of a visitor. It also turned out that they were ready to make some turtle soup. Just then, Spark knocked. So, Mrs. Wolf answered the door while Mr. Wolf watched her lazily. His eyes lit up when he saw Spark. Just what we need, he thought. Meanwhile, Mrs. Wolf said, "Well, hello, Spark. What can we do for you?" "Well, I was wondering if I could stay for a meal." "Oh," said Mrs. Wolf, "of course. Please sit down. I apologize for the messy house. Oh, do you like pepper soup?" Mrs. Wolf was in a huff and a puff. During the meal, Spark explained his problem again. Spark told his friends he'd be delighted to spend a night, and Mrs. Wolf told him she loved visitors. When Spark was in the guest room and Mr. and Mrs. Wolf were cleaning the kitchen, Mr. Wolf said, "What happened to the idea of turtle soup?" Mrs. Wolf replied, "How many times have I told you it's not polite to eat your guests?" In the morning, Spark said, Mrs. Wolf, these muffins are great, but this house isn't for me. Mr. and Mrs. Wolf said, That's okay. When Spark reached home, he said, Well, I better clean up. He cleaned up and made lunch. At bedtime, he squeezed his teddy bear and said, There's no place like home. The end.